Good evening and welcome, parents. Thank you so much for coming this evening. My name is Andrea Orta, and I will be your child's kindergarten teacher this year. My role is to help them effectively navigate through math this year. What I plan on doing is I plan on giving them the skills and tools that they will need so that they can grow and be successful in math this year and in the years beyond. My major focus this year will be on counting and cardinality, addition and subtraction 10 frame, learning place value, measurement, and shapes. I'm hoping as for parents, you will be involved with your student learning. If you have any questions, please always feel free to ask me because I am here for you. Being involved with school activities really helps your kids learning too. Make sure when they come home from school, you're asking them questions like, how was your day? What did you learn today? And they can show you the different things they learned too. And for the students, I'm working on their growth mindset. And what growth mindset means is that they are learning every day and it's okay to make mistakes. And they're learning that it's okay to make mistakes because that's what makes you grow. And I'm engaging them in learning their mathematics, and I'm letting them be able to ask me questions, which is so important. I will give them the answers that they need. Now, we have 8 standards of mathematical practice implications, which stands for SMPs, that we follow through kindergarten through all the way through 12th grade. These implications are, first, you're making sense of problems and persevere in solving them. What that means is that you're able to use verbal and nonverbal means to explain how you got the mathematical problem. And you're able to develop ways to solve these problems. And when your children have questions, my job is to answer these questions and be effective and to help them understand the questions they're asking and help them get to the answer that they need. Number 2 of this is reason abstractly and quantitatively. And what this means is that they're using numbers and symbols this year. So you're using manipulatives, you're drawing pictures, using diagrams, using charts. Number 3, you're constructing viable arguments and critiquing the reasoning of others. And what that means is that it's verbal and written, and you're exploring math, discovering, discussing, and listening. Number 4, you're modeling with mathematics, and that means you're able to use objects or written mathematical expressions. Number 5, you're using appropriate tools strategically. This means that we're using cubes and 10 frames, or we're drawing pictures, and that's concrete material. Now, technological materials are the different website we'll be using, calculators, which we really won't be using those at all, and interactive websites so that the students can interact with each other and interact with the games. And these different games you'll be able to do at home too. Number 6, you're attending to precision. And what this means is that you'll begin to use ideas and words to describe with their reasoning of mathematics. They'll be able to understand how they got the answer to their problems. They're engaging, they're learning. Number 7, look for and make use of structure. They're starting to see the different patterns and structures in mathematics. They're seeing how things are going in order and sequence, 1 through 10, and all of that. And it's great to see the learning on their faces when they understand all this. And number 8, you're looking for expression, regularity, and repeated reasoning. What this means is that they're noticing that there's repetitive mathematics, that yes, there's after 1, it's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And if you count by 2s, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. They're noticing different sequences and counting by 5s and 10s. And all of this has to do with me engaging them, me making sure that they have the problem solving skills to get the answers that they need, and that they're understanding their mathematical reasoning behind all of this. And of course, I will always engage them and ask them, how did you get to this? Why is this like this? Because I feel that it's very important for them to understand how they get the answer, why that's the answer. That is just very important so that they can be successful in their future career in math. And then we go into domain progressions. And what this means is that we're counting and cardinality. Again, we're talking about the sequence counting, the 1, 2, 3, and you're getting to number 10, or counting by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. You have operations and algebraic thinking. That's to do with addition and subtraction. That is very important this year. They will learn how to add, subtract, With that, they will be giving numbers and operations in base 10. Those are cubes that they're going to be learning to build together, which is really good. That's hands-on, and it can show them how if they're a child that really needs to see something, they're going to be able to see that, yes, putting those cubes and everything together helps them get their answer. And they're composing and decomposing, and that's just addition and subtraction. And we're also going to be doing measurement and data. And what that is that you're talking about the heaviness and lightness of objects. You're talking about how big and how small things are. So you're comparing and contrasting how everything's looking and doing that. And then we have geometry, which you're talking about the different shapes like squares and circles and cubes and triangles and diamonds. And then you do a grid, and the grid you'll be able to put like above and underneath. So you understand where everything goes. Like if I'll tell the students, place a circle at the top of your page, place a square under the circle. They know where placement is and they understand all of that. And shapes are very important this year for them too. Next, we're having tools that they'll be using. The tools in my class will be using manipulatives, which will be using snap cubes, base 10 blocks, blocks in general to build on and understand the different shapes, which is very, very important, and Rec and Rick, which is helping them understand how they get to different answers, placing the different cubes together, the different beads, excuse me. And then you have the different math websites. I'll be using ABC, Jack Hartman, which really gets the kids so excited because they get to stand up and work with him and really, really get to interact with the math, which is great. Zern Math and Splash Learn. And then there's going to be different instruction methods that I use too. We'll be in groups and we'll move around to different tables and learn different ways to learn how to do math. Those will have hands-on stations with them. And the students will also learn to create things with math. And what I mean by that is that maybe they'll be at a center where they're building something with blocks or with Legos, and it's helping them to understand math, which is very important. And again, I just want to summarize everything about that I went over this evening. I want to thank all of you for coming. Like I said, throughout the year, we'll be focusing on counting and addition, subtraction, cardinality, using our base 10s, understanding place values, that's the 1s and 10s, exploring measurement and shape. Also, I want to make sure that you know that please, if you ever have any questions, please contact me. Or if you need more resources sources for your child, please contact me because I am here for you. And we work as a team. You know, you, the parents, the students, me as a teacher, administration, we are all here for you to make sure that your child is successful in math and that they get all the learning that they need and education that they need. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I will have a website a home website page for you so if you need anything, you can contact me there because it'll have my email and there'll always be information on there explaining what we've done in class. So if there is anything you need, please, like I said, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much again for coming and have a great evening. Bye.